What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman here for Stokastic.com, back again with the NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Sunday, December 4th. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. Let me know in the comment section who your favorite plays are, and then go sign up at BetMGM. If you're new to it, the link is in the description. Head on over. You got to put down $10 on one of the World Cup matches. You can get England today up until 2 p.m. or my recommendation, grab Brazil tomorrow if you need to. Win or lose, you are going to get $200 in free bets. It is the perfect way to start off a sports betting bankroll. Now, we round out the bottom of my top 10 with Kevin Huerter, Anthony Simons, RJ Barrett, Kyrie Irving, and JALEN Brunson on the outside looking in. Who will be my favorites? My top 5 plays for today? It's time to find out. First up at number 5, I'm looking at Kyle KUZMA. He is power forward eligible, 7,700, projected for 43. The goal is 48. He's in the optimal lineup 22% of the time. Revenge narrative alert here for Kuz, taking on the Lakers. Massive pace up spot. KUZMA playing really big minutes. I got him in for 37 today. 1.15 fantasy points per minute in this matchup. 25% usage. 22 points, 9 boards. So really close to that double-double bonus. 4 assists and a stock. I like the matchup. I really like the price. The playing time has been fantastic. I wish he had the MPE, but it still doesn't seem to matter. Can still make it into my top 5, even just at power forward. And now we get into the Blazers portion of the show. Number 4 is JUSUF NURKIC. He's center eligible, 6,600, projected for 41.5. The goal is 43. He's in the optimal lineup 28% of the time. Blazers are on a back-to-back, but they had 8 active bodies yesterday. So let's put that out there right now. We don't know their injury status, so I am assuming it's the same. Now, they might get Josh Hart here. He was doubtful yesterday. Game time decision, ended up getting ruled out. If he ends up being in, everybody gets a little bit worse, but it's still an incredible matchup for the Blazers. They gained 3.9 possessions over their average, taking on the Indiana Pacers. I've got JUSUF NURKIC around 1.3 fantasy points per minute on DraftKings today. 18 points, 24% usage, 12 rebounds. So a massive double-double. 3 assists, a steal, and a block. At 6,600, this price tag is a real problem. Would you be at all surprised to see JUSUF NURKIC have like a 20-20 game against the Pacers? You shouldn't be. Next Blazer on the list is JERAMI Grant, power forward eligible, 7,300, projected for 44. The goal is 46.5. He's in the optimal lineup 28% of the time. Everything that I said about the matchup for NURKIC works here for Grant. 37 minutes, 1.19 fantasy points per minute because, again, no Dame, no half of this team is just gone. 27% usage, but it's mostly scoring. 27 points, 5 boards, 3 assists. Unfortunately, JERAMI Grant pulled down precisely 0 rebounds yesterday. Let's hope that gets a little bit better today. 1 steal and 1 block. I love the price. I love the role. I love the matchup. I love every single thing about Portland today. And if Josh Hart happens to be in, like JERAMI Grant and JUSUF NURKIC are still both going to be really good plays for today. But instead of them being in this 28% range, they probably drop down into this 20% range and still work their way into like the bottom of the top 10. If you're looking for value, go to number 2, Trendon Watford, power forward center eligible, just 3,500, projected for 26.5. The goal is 27.5, and he's in the optimal lineup 33% of the time. He's playing massive minutes with all of these guys out. We had no Drew Eubanks yesterday. Really firmed up Watford, allowed him to start at the 4. So 32 minutes. He's a 0.8 fantasy point per minute guy. There's no usage here. 10 points, 7.5 boards. So he does own the boards. I think that's part of the reason why you see JERAMI Grant be a little bit lower in the rebounding categories, because Trendon Watford is in there just playing a slightly different role. You don't get Grant at the 4, but 10, 7.5, 3 assists, a stock and a half in that same pace up spot. The fact that you get power forward and center is insane, but 3,500 for the amount of minutes that Watford will be playing if this lineup looks like it did yesterday, absolute no-brainer pay down option. Now, before we get to the number 1 contender, one last reminder to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. You got to follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. You got to let me know in the comments who your favorite plays are. And then you have to head over to BetMGM using the link in the description. Put down $10 on one of the World Cup matches. Get $200 in free bets. Your number 1 contender for today for me is Justice Winslow, small forward, power forward eligible, 5,100, projected for 34.5. The goal is 35.5. He's in the optimal lineup 35% of the time. It's 36 minutes for Winslow. He's a 0.9-ish fantasy point per minute guy, probably close to a fantasy point per minute. Again, great matchup against Indiana. Now, this guy touches everything. 17% usage, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. I mean, he can flirt with that triple-double. It's a very Draymond-esque stat line. 2 stocks as well. He just gets everything. He's priced in the mid-tier. He's essentially the point guard of this team with no Damian Lillard around. Everything for Portland looks good if these 8 guys are the only 8 active guys. But I want to point something out right now because I gave you Portland, 1, 2, 3, 4. But I want you to understand what that actually means. As I highlight the optimal odds for these guys, they total 124%, which means the most likely scenario for today is that one of those 4 guys are in the optimal lineup. Maybe you get a second. So be aware of that when you're putting your lineup construction together. Even just looking at the entire top 10, the most likely scenario is that you see 2.5 of these guys in the optimal lineup when all is said and done. So probably 2, maybe 3. You're getting some sort of average between that. But it's a different scenario. Just because someone is ranked number 1, it also means that 65% of the time, Justice Winslow is not in the optimal lineup. Be aware of the percentages and not just of the ranks. What I want to tell you is this. The Portland Blazers are the best place to go to for point per dollar plays today. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Sunday, December 4th. FanDuel version's around here somewhere, so check it out. Good luck tonight, everybody. Win that money. We're back again tomorrow morning for another edition of the Contenders.